The room is quiet except for the soft hum of the refrigerator and the occasional flicker of the lamp on the side table. Amy sits cross-legged on the edge of her bed, her fingers hovering over her phone like they're a lifeline. The screen glows in the dim room, reflecting off her eyes that are rimmed with fatigue and a trace of anxiety. Around her, chaos spreads like silent accusation. Wedding binders lie open, pens scattered, sticky notes curled at the edges. Receipts for deposits peek out from beneath notebooks, and the faint smell of leftover takeout mixes with the faint perfume lingering in the air. Every item feels like a monument to her failing plan. She breathes in slowly, tries to center herself. Her thumb hovers, then presses. The call connects. The familiar tone of Tammy's voice comes through. Tammy doesn't yell. She doesn't slam doors in her mind's eye. She doesn't hurl accusations across the room like weapons. She pauses. And in that pause, the world tilts, slightly. A second of quiet that says more than any dramatic outburst ever could. Amy's chest tightens. Her heartbeat pounds in her ears. She can feel the tremor in her hands as she grips the phone. Her voice comes out fragile. Hesitant. The venue, it's gone. I thought we had it. And now the date. The words trail off, swallowed by the room. She swallows audibly herself, tasting the dry panic in her mouth. Each syllable feels heavy, loaded with disappointment and shame. Tammy listens. Quiet. Still. Calculating. Eyes narrowing subtly, not in judgment but in measured thought, as if her mind is mapping the landscape of this new emotional terrain. Amy had expected something else. Chaos, frustration, shared exasperation, something tangible to lean on. But the silence she receives is denser than any laughter or outburst could ever be. The seconds stretch, slow and deliberate. Not noticeable to an outsider, but inside Amy, they echo like a metronome, marking a rhythm she doesn't recognize. Her internal compass flinches. The air itself seems thicker, heavier. Finally, Tammy speaks. Her voice is calm, almost clinical in its detachment. Maybe this is a sign. A single sentence, yet it lands like a stone in still water. The word sign reverberates between them. It is no longer just a word. It is an idea. A pivot. A subtle accusation wrapped in care. Amy freezes. Not in anger, not even in disbelief. She freezes because her world subtly shifts, as though gravity itself has adjusted. The room seems smaller, tighter, as if containing the weight of that one phrase. Her voice comes out quieter, trembling at the edges, fragile as porcelain. A sign of what? Another pause. Longer, colder, deliberate. Tammy doesn't rush to fill the silence. She lets it sit there like a shadow. Amy's eyes flick to the wedding binders, the sticky notes, the scattered receipts. Every reminder of her dreams and plans now looks like evidence being weighed in a silent judgment. The phone feels heavier in her hand. Her thumb presses against it unconsciously, the pressure grounding her in the moment, yet failing to give her stability. Amy inhales slowly, trying to collect herself. She forces words past the tremor in her throat, hoping to reclaim the rhythm of their old dynamic. I thought everything was set. I thought the date, the vendors, it was all fine. We just needed. But Tammy interrupts subtly, not with anger, not with outrage, but with a voice that carries measured weight. Sometimes it's not about what you thought. It's about what's real, what's happening now. The subtle shift is seismic. Amy feels it in her chest, like a soft tremor that threatens to pull the floor out from under her. It isn't judgment. Exactly. It isn't anger. It is a reframing of reality, a quiet recalibration that she isn't ready to absorb. Amy glances at the calendar, then at her phone. The numbers blur. Deadlines, deposits, and imagined fairy tale plans collide into a suffocating fog. Maybe, she whispers, almost to herself. Maybe it's too much. Tammy doesn't respond immediately. She lets the words hang, analyzing, weighing, observing. The pause is deliberate, a controlled measure of influence. Amy's chest tightens further. She exhales slowly. The tremor in her voice persists, subtle, almost imperceptible, but undeniable. Her mind races through every alternative, every contingency. Every possible rescue she imagined from her sister feels just out of reach. She realizes something she doesn't want to admit. She isn't just stressed. She isn't just anxious. She's uncertain about herself, about her choices, about her judgment. And in that moment, the fracture begins. A fracture that no shouting, no tears, no dramatic gesture could ever reveal so clearly. This isn't chaos. This is structural. This is the start of the pause that will echo through the rest of their season, quietly reshaping the foundation of their bond. Amy's eyes flick to the clock on the wall. The minute hand moves in slow, deliberate increments, each tick a hammer striking the fragile bridge of her composure. Her gaze sweeps the room again, binders splayed open, receipts and vendor contracts overlapping like a paper mosaic of dreams gone logistical. Her fingers curl into the bedsheet. She expected partnership. Crisis shared. Rage, laughter, maybe a well-placed sarcastic comment to diffuse tension. Anything but this. This measured detachment. Tammy's voice, calm and precise, threads through the static of Amy's panic. You're rushing. I just don't want you to regret this. The words float in the room, settling over Amy like a weightless yet immovable fog. No shout. No dramatics. No chaos. Power. Amy realizes with a sudden, uncomfortable clarity, is being exercised here not through volume, but through restraint. Amy's chest tightens. Her breathing quickens, shallow and uneven, though she tries to mask it with a forced rhythm. The old rhythm of their bond, shared hysteria, coordinated panic, the safe space of chaos, has vanished. For years, Amy was the anchor, the stabilizer, the quiet architect of order. When Tammy struggled, Amy scheduled appointments, coordinated rides, defended her publicly online, mediated family arguments, absorbed the stress that might have otherwise fractured both of them. She carried more than her share. Willingly, instinctively, it was what sisters do. Now the roles have reversed. Tammy doesn't flinch, doesn't panic, doesn't demand reassurance. She analyzes, observes, questions. Amy's words start to spill faster, tumbling over themselves. The venue, it's booked. I called everyone. Deposits are doubled. No. I thought I could make it work. The date, if we adjust the floral, maybe. The caterer said we can. Her sentences break under their own weight. She leans forward, phone clutched to her chest, as if physical proximity might restore the partnership she relied on for years. Tammy doesn't respond immediately. She lets the torrent flow past her like a river she isn't meant to swim in. Her silence is deliberate, sculpted, almost surgical. Amy swallows hard, her throat dry. The room feels smaller. Every object, the binders, the sticky notes, the scattered receipts, seems suddenly accusatory, as if reflecting the collapse of her previous confidence. Tammy finally speaks again. Her voice is low, measured, and every word is weighted. I see patterns here. Patterns that worry me. You've jumped ahead in the logistics before thinking about readiness. I don't want you to regret it later. Amy freezes mid-breath. Patterns. Readiness. Regret. Not criticism, not judgment, not even an attack. But the implication is sharp, precise. It slices through her foundation, which she assumed was solid. Her hands press into her knees. She can feel her heartbeat in her palms, a rapid staccato reminding her that she is human, fallible, capable of error. Amy's mind races. She catalogs every decision she's made in the last weeks, every phone call, every deposit, every RSVP. She can't see them clearly anymore. Tammy's calm observation has reframed everything. The old lens, excitement, trust, collaboration, is replaced by a new lens, evaluation. Her chest tightens further. Breath shallow, words trembling, she finally asks, quieter than intended, You think I'm rushing? Tammy doesn't answer right away. She lets the question hang, cold and deliberate. Then, I'm not saying the relationship isn't real. I'm saying the timing, the preparation, the weight of it all. You're moving fast. It isn't just caution. It isn't just concern. It is authority. Quiet, unspoken, and almost unbearable. Amy's thoughts spiral. Was she ever ready? Has she misjudged everything? How could she have relied on her own judgment so blindly? The air between them grows taut, dense with unspoken history. Years of codependence, mutual survival, and protective instincts compress into this moment, crystallizing into a single, undeniable truth. The dynamic has shifted. Amy had always been the anchor, the steadying force. Now, Tammy is the evaluator, the gatekeeper, the one measuring outcomes and consequences, standing apart while Amy flounders in the gravity of expectation and doubt. Amy's eyes water slightly. She can feel the foundation of their sisterhood realigning. Not breaking yet, but tilting. Subtly, structurally, her voice cracks just a bit as she whispers, almost to herself. I thought we were in this together. Tammy tilts her head slightly. Calm, almost imperceptible. The silence that follows is thicker than any argument. No words can fill it. The weight of observation is enough. Amy realizes she isn't just stressed about the wedding. She isn't just panicking about dates or deposits. She is confronting the uncomfortable fact that the one person who always steadied her is now standing back, assessing, calculating. And that is terrifying. The camera lingers on Amy's face. Her panic is quiet now, internalized, almost clinical. She rocks slightly, phone pressed against her chest, absorbing the gravity of the shift. Tammy finally breaks the silence with a soft, almost detached, "I just want to make sure you don't look back and regret it." The words echo differently than any scream ever could. They are a tether, a boundary, a subtle recalibration of power. Amy exhales slowly, realizing the depth of what has changed. The shared hysteria, the instinctive safety net, the codependence that once defined them, it's gone, replaced by measured detachment. For the first time, Amy feels truly observed, evaluated. And beneath that observation lies a quiet, undeniable shift. Tammy has the power in this moment. The apartment is dark, quiet, except for the soft hum of the refrigerator and the occasional creak of settling wood. Tammy sits on the edge of her bed, phone in hand. The glow from the screen paints her face in muted tones, half in shadow, half in light. The apartment is orderly, neat. The contrast with Amy's chaotic world feels symbolic, almost theatrical. Andrea's voice echoes in her mind, "If you see something wrong, don't stay silent." The words resonate, looping in the quiet like a mantra. Tammy types a message to Amy, deletes it, types again, deletes. The camera lingers on her fingers, deliberate, poised. Each keystroke is a negotiation with her own conscience. It is not rebellion, not defiance, but deliberation. A weighing of consequences. She exhales slowly, eyes tracing the contours of the room. The apartment is hers now, a space that feels separate from chaos, from need, from years of codependence. She is no longer the one being saved. She types again, stops mid-sentence. A flicker of uncertainty, then another keystroke, a small nod to resolve. Tammy is now the observer, the evaluator, the protector, the guardian.